welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Jason. How you doing, dude?
Yeah, a bit better, but ready to go.
Yeah, like you said off air, everybody's getting this crap lately.
I haven't talked to a person in the last 3 weeks that had at least a bug.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, before we get started on these games, if anybody wants to get a hold of us on social media, it's facebook.com/American Sports Connection or on Twitter at AMSportsConPod, POD. Or you can reach Jason if you want to shoot the shit with him about whatever at A Geek of Nature, all one word.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of me, you better do it soon, because if Joel Embiid doesn't make the All-Star game, I'm deleting my Twitter, because it's bullshit. I'm sticking by my word. I haven't said it on here, but I'm sticking by my word.
He's a man of his word, ladies and gentlemen.
If he does not make the All-Star game, I'm deactivating my account. I don't care.
That's funny. All right, so what did you think of the divisional games this week?
Let me actually pull up the results again to make sure, because I'm like half out of it right now. Let me make sure I don't talk about a game that didn't happen. All right, let's see. Yeah, there was only I don't think there was necessarily a surprise this week, but one game did kind of surprise me a little bit with the score and how one-sided the game turned out to be.
Yeah,
and it'll probably be the first game we get into.
Yeah, all right. Well, then let's get into it. We had Atlanta pulling away on Seattle 36-20.
Yeah, that was the game that I thought surprised me a little bit. I thought Seattle would show up a little better. I mean, I know it was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Seattle was up. And I was like, this is how it's going to be. They'll kind of just,
hang around,
control the ball, yeah. And Atlanta was just the second quarter, they just came out and went nuts. And then I was like, I think we might have a good game here. And then later in the game, they just pulled away.
Yeah, that was the surprising thing to me. Their defense, it wasn't superb, but it was good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, they had the safety, which was big for them, and followed that up with a field goal, so they got 5 points right there off of that. But I think that the big score was the touchdown at the half, late in the second quarter, the pass to Coleman from Ryan. I think that is what really turned the game in Atlanta's favor, because they went into the half with a 9-point lead, and they just never looked back. And then in the second half, I mean, Seattle scored a late touchdown, and that's basically it. They had the Hauska field goal, but Atlanta dominated pretty much the rest of the game after they scored that touchdown. After the safety, actually, Atlanta really dominated this football game.
I agree with that. Major story coming out of this game was Julio Jones re-injuring his foot.
Yeah, which is not good for them going into Sunday's NFC championship game.
No. I mean, granted, it's an extra day they're going to get because they played on a Saturday, but still.
Yeah, but the foot is, the nail in the coffin, because
he's had something all year, whether it's his knee or his ankle or his foot or.
Yeah, if you can't run, you can't be a wide receiver. Yeah. It goes without saying, but
this game just surprised me, as you said, where Atlanta was basically able to almost move on them at will as this game went on.
Yeah, that was the game that I was hoping for but did not expect, and I'm glad. I like to see new teams go far into the playoffs, and I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Atlanta win the Super Bowl. They have, they've never won one, and they haven't been there, in 20 years? I don't know.
It's like Jamal Anderson with the Dirty Bird.
Yeah, the Denver one, right? When they lost to Denver.
98?
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Elway's last game.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So I don't mind them either. I don't really dislike them.
No, I mean, their quarterback's a local guy, Matt Ryan, so why not?
Yeah, I can go along with that. All right, Next, we have the Patriots pulling away 34-16 on Houston.
Yeah, this what you had a very good close game at the half, and then I think it was Osweiler kind of struck.
The thing that drove me nuts about this game was it was Osweiler that melted down in the second half, but his receivers didn't do him any justice in this game. There was a dropped touchdown on the first drive by their tight end. I can't pronounce his last name, the really long last name.
Fedorowicz or whatever.
Yeah, Fedorowicz.
Fedorowicz, yeah, that sounds right to me.
He misjudged a touchdown ball that he should have caught, and then Fuller, on one of the few plays they went deep in the second half, beat a guy, and the ball literally went right through his hands for a touchdown.
Yep.
Just like those two things, and then Osweiler had been really lucky in the first half, like that he didn't throw a pick. Like, he was tempting fate, you know?
Yeah, he was basically being Osweiler at that point. Their defense kind of held up. They intercepted Brady a couple times, sacked him a couple times. They held him to under a 50% completion percentage. Yeah. Quarterback rating wasn't very good. They could have won the football game if they would have got or play out of their quarterback and wide receivers, like you said, the receivers, especially dropping touchdown passes.
What defense would have been like if J.J. Watt was on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a hypothetical, but you know what I'm saying?
No, it's a good hypothetical. You're missing the best defensive player in football. It's kind of like, yeah, if they would have had him, you know, who knows, you know, what would have happened in this game and the rest of the season and playoffs.
Lance said that Fuller has been a dropping ball machine all year.
Yeah, I don't remember him having those issues at Notre Dame either, which, you know, I don't know, maybe the NFL is rookie season is pressuring him a bit, but I honestly don't remember him having those issues.
I was going to say, for those that don't know this, I don't know if you know this, Mike Vrabel has been promoted to the Texans defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
But what's his name? Cornell is still going to run the defense. They just gave him a different position. From what I understood, the reason they did it, it's for Rabel, is so other teams can't like interview him or like try to take him away.
Well, that's good. He's a actual Patriots guy too. He played for the defense.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. What, 3 of them? I think he won with them. 2 or 3.
At least 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, their defense really shut Brady down, and they looked really sloppy, the Patriots, in this game, even though they won by a wide margin.
Yeah, that's right. Scores can be deceiving, I think, at points, you know.
There's another one I forgot to bring up. Dion Lewis did something that never happened in the NFL. He had a run for a touchdown in this game, a catch for a touchdown in this game, and a punt return for a touchdown.
Holy crap.
I know, I was...
In a playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know it's happened in the regular season.
Never in a playoff game.
Yeah, because I think...
he still had issues in this game. Like, after he had that return for a touchdown... I think the Texans scored a touchdown or a field goal, and they kicked it back to him, and he got drilled and fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball twice in this game.
It was a kickoff return for a touchdown, by the way, not a punt.
Oh, excuse me.
That's the thing that never happened, yeah.
Like Lance said, the Patriots did look beatable. Like, they looked human on Saturday.
Oh, they absolutely did. It's a shame that you know, Houston didn't. Well, I'm sound like I'm rooting for Houston. I'm not. I like to see teams that haven't been there before get there. You know,
I want to see something like different.
Yeah, and right now it doesn't look like we're going to see too much difference coming out of the AFC because the 2 teams left obviously are teams that, you know.
Right, yeah, I know, that have been there the last decade or so.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the game of the week. Probably one of the more exciting playoff games I've ever watched. Green Bay bests the Cowboys 34-31.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is going to be the game of the season because it's a playoff game. It was an incredible finish, and I don't think the Super Bowl or the title games are going to beat this game, in my opinion.
I can agree with that.
It was just crazy, man. Like shockingly great because I thought and give kudos to Dallas for coming back because they were to the point where they almost got themselves buried. They were down 15 points.
21-3 at one point.
Yeah, 28-13 at one point too.
Yeah. I will give them credit, and I don't know if you're going to agree with this or not.
Sorry.
I think because they used to have this, I don't want to say a motto, but this like about them that, they would fall apart and then you could kind of just, beat them.
Yeah.
Well, they really fought in this game, and I thought they showed their moxie despite their coaching.
Yeah, when Bailey nailed that field goal, I thought they would take it to overtime and win the game because, he nailed a 52-yard field goal. I was like, oh, man. I didn't think – and Cook, the tight end for Green Bay, was one of the best catches I've seen. I don't know how he got his feet in.
Well, and then the other interesting thing was their kicker Crosby hits that knuckler from like 56 that I didn't think was going to go in. It just went in.
Yeah, to give him the lead.
And then the other one to win the game where I thought it was hooking left because you saw.
Me too.
And then it just came right back over in the middle. I was like, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, well, he's a fade kicker, too. If you notice, when they line him up, they always put him at the left hash mark because he's a good fade kicker. He'll fall back and in, and that's what happened. When he kicked it, I thought it was going to hit the pole, hit the upright, or go wide, and it just cut back and it went in, and I was like, yes. I'm rooting for the Packers, obviously. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not trying to hide it.
Yeah, Lance said he's upset, obviously, but his team has a great future considering, Prescott and Elliott, what they did in their rookie season.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something about the NFL. The future is not a given. Ask the Carolina Panthers. They thought they were going to come back this year and go right back to the Super Bowl and be good with their younger guys and stuff, but I don't know what's going to happen. Like, Dallas got there, they got some experience, but winning a playoff game has been very few and far between for them for the last 2 decades or whatever.
Yeah, they won 2.
Yep, and maybe getting rid of Romo off that roster will help him. Maybe he's the jinx.
He's the sheep.
Yep.
But no, this was one of the more exciting playoff games I ever watched.
And I'll tell you what, dude, I don't think there is a quarterback in the NFL more locked in than Aaron Rodgers right now. Like, that guy has just been phenomenal.
Well, I told you last week when we did this show, he was embarrassed by Dallas the last time around, and I was like, he's not going to let it happen again.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, remember there was that stat where Green Bay has not won a game yet this year where they've allowed a 100-yard rusher. Well, they
this time
they beat that stat because Elliott had 125, and they actually kept him out of the end zone, which I thought was, I guess it wasn't that big, being that you still gave up like 31 points, but he didn't score. Des Bryant had a big game. Prescott had a big game.
Lance said he thinks Romo will go to the Jets.
I think Romo's going to Denver. That's my pick.
I've read different things where their beat writers think that Dallas is just going to cut him.
Well, this is my thing about him going to the Jets. What would be the point in his career to go to the Jets?
The only thing would be to collect money.
Yeah, he has like 2 years left, maybe. What would be the point of going there? He's not going to win, and I mean, if they pay him more, I guess you go there. Denver just seems like the better pick at this point because they're just, to me, they're a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl contender again.
Dean from the UK says in the chat that Marty McFly called. He's been to 2030 and the Cowboys still suck.
I like that.
I think. Oh God, Romo. He says Romo to the Browns. I hope not.
That's another team. What would be the point? You know?
Yeah, because he wants to win a title.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Romo, if the Browns and the Jets called me, I'd retire before I go there.
Oh God, yeah. All right, well, let's get to the last game of the week, which was supposed to be the first game on Sunday. They got postponed. The Steelers hang on and beat the Chiefs 18-16.
Yeah, what sucks too is I know your buddy Dean, who's in the chat right now, is from the UK, so he got a nice 2 a.m. kickoff for this game or something. No, 1 a.m.
I think
1:30 kickoff for this game. That's always pleasant. And then he got a boring ass game to boot. So
yeah, I know it was a defensive battle, and I got to tell you. And this is just, we had talked about this during the game about Travis Kelce. I lost a little bit of respect for him after this game.
Yeah, Kelce, he's a great football player, but, you know.
If he would have caught some of them passes, maybe I would have told him not to shut his mouth.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche, I guess. Well, when you have your own reality show, dating show, or whatever, I guess stuff like that kind of goes to your head.
I know. But I was just like, yeah, he's like, oh, I'm all about the team and all this and that. Then why did you have your own reality show like The Bachelor?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd still do that. You can still be about the team and do that in the off season, but my thing with him is that he explodes, and like he got ejected earlier this year, throwing his towel at the official. And the guy is a great football player, but if he doesn't rein it in, he's just going to get that, you know, that label on him that he's an asshole and you can get under his skin and stuff. He's like Odell Beckham. That's almost what he has.
Dean said he listened to the game on the radio at work, and boy, was it terrible on the radio.
Listen, if you love field goals, you would have been in heaven on Sunday night. But I don't like field goals. I like them. Like the Dallas game had 3 good field goals at the end, but that was a totally different scenario.
Exactly.
This game just, it got good at the end. When Kansas City scored the touchdown and then went for the 2, it got good. Other than that, it was like watching paint dry.
The other thing that I noticed during this game is, and this is, maybe it's me, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, Kansas City and Andy Reid with fucking time management again. They got the ball with 10 minutes and something left in the fourth quarter, and it took them till like 2-minute warning almost to score the touchdown.
Well, at that point, you really should. They were down by 8, so, I mean, it don't really matter at that point, I guess, but that's just the kind of team Kansas City is, and Andy Reid is. They want to hold the football, and it does backfire against them when they're down, because when you're losing, you don't really want to milk 8 minutes off of a clock.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man. Like, they had their shot at tying the game. I think Pittsburgh would have won the game anyway.
Their defense just smothered them.
Yeah, Kansas City just, like Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL through like November and December. But when the calendar flips to January, it's like, what Andy Reid are you going to get? It's almost like he gets nervous when he's calling plays or something in the postseason. Like, we saw it for a decade.
Yeah, and I can't remember what quarter it was, and kudos to him for coming back in the game, because the one Steeler guy obliterated him over the middle, that helmet to helmet.
Yes.
And I thought it was Mike Mitchell that hit him, but it was the other kid.
The receiver, I think, was...
Was it Conley?
Who was it? Conley, yes, that's who it was. It was Chris Conley, yeah, number 17.
Yeah, and then, like Dino was just saying about Harrison, Jesus God, he's 38 and he's still, killing quarterbacks.
Did you see they said he spends, like, so much money in the off-season on, like, body improving stuff, like acupuncture and all that stuff? And
I've seen his workout or like snippets of it, of his workout routine online, and you're like, dear God, this guy is an animal.
Yeah, he's a good football player at his age. He's that dude too. I remember the story with him, right? Did he make his son give back a participation trophy?
Yes, he did.
Because he did, yeah. And you know what? I kind of like that if you think about it. Yeah, because what do you can't? Your kids are just gonna start getting awards for sucking.
I know. Well, and then the other big thing coming out of this before we go and make our picks,
sure,
is Antonio Brown with the Facebook Live thing.
I mean, is that really a big story? Honestly, is it? Like,
well, let me put it this way: the media is making it a big story.
Yeah, the media, 2017, and we care about the media now. Like, I mean, come on.
I kind of chuckled because I was like, "You're gonna have to get used to this because this is like the first time like." You're going to have, like, young millennials that have, like, Facebook Live or different things on their phones that could do that.
Yeah, it means absolutely nothing to me. And I'm not trying to blow off the point or anything. I just
know
don't.
What you mean.
I just don't care. Like, Facebook Live. I do Facebook. I do Twitter. Yeah, they're fun. But I don't care if he's on his goddamn phone in the end zone after he scores a touchdown on Facebook Live. I don't care. You know?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't bother me one way or the other.
Me either. It just don't matter.
But
no, I know what you mean. He got fined for it, right? Or he's going to get fined for it?
I think Dean said he got a $250,000 fine.
Wow. Yeah, maybe he should care. If it's that much, let me Google that, dude, because that's crazy.
I know, well, because it's again like a league policy that you can't do that.
Yeah. This says he was fined. He hasn't been fined yet.
Okay.
But the fine should only be $25,000.
Oh, I read it wrong then. Okay, then it's 25.
Yeah, it's in the. Hold on, let me see. I'm looking up the story right now. It's in like the CBA where he can only be fined so much for it.
Okay. Well, while you look that up, I'm going to say this to all the Chiefs fans if you're watching this. The last play that everybody was complaining about, if you're a Chiefs fan on the two-pointer, it was the right call. Whether Travis Kelce whines about it as much as he wants, James Harrison got mugged on that play. By Eric Fisher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dean said that's how much money Harrison spends in the offseason to take care of himself.
$250,000. Yeah. I was like, because that fine didn't sound like, $250K is how much Harrison spends on acupuncture and all kind of other
stuff,
medicines and stuff. Yeah, which I mean, I guess if you're making like $7 million a year and you're prolonging your career for however many more years, that's a good investment. Yeah.
But no, I was saying that the holding call on Eric Fisher was legit in that game.
Yeah.
I said he mugged Harrison.
I mean, if you hold, I hope they throw a flag, even if it isn't a big moment. I don't care if the game's going to be tied if they don't throw the flag or whatever. You throw it.
Yeah, if it's egregious, you throw it.
Yeah, I mean, the officials are bad enough. They don't need that one under their belt.
No. I completely agree. All right, before we make our picks and get out of here for tonight, how did me and you do on our divisional round picks?
We were both 3-1. We both lost Seattle, and that's it. We had New England, Pittsburgh, Green Bay winning, so we.
So not too bad.
Yeah, so I'm 7-1. You're 6-2 right now in the playoffs. So we're both in the money.
Yeah, that's not bad. All right, let's see here. First game on Sunday is Green Bay at Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm going to ride the Green Bay trade going forward right now. Until they lose, which, when they do lose, I can't pick them again. So, but I'm sticking with Green Bay. They're 2-0 for me right now. They beat two rivals, which made me happy. I like that. I'm a Green Bay fan going forward in these playoffs, I guess you could say. I'm going to go with the Pack.
I'm going with Green Bay as well, just because Aaron Rodgers is red hot. And believe it or not, I don't know if you read this. This is the last home game in the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, they are open. What's the name of their new place?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Called, I have a feeling they're going to have the same feeling Eagles fans did the last game in the Vet.
Like, kind of like bittersweet?
Yeah, where the Eagles got beat by Tampa Bay.
Oh, well, very bitter. Yeah. I didn't know if you were talking about the actual Vet closing what happened to close it. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, they played better at home. Well, the last game in that stadium, how fitting would it be for them to lose the game?
Well, and if you remember, these two teams played each other earlier the year in the Dome, and was a fantastic game.
It was wasn't it like 45-41 or something?
Yeah, and Atlanta won on like the last 5 seconds of the game.
Yeah, well, we know what Green Bay does to teams that beat them earlier in the year.
All right.
I think this should be a really good one, though, man. I think we're going to get like a 38-33 type game.
I think it's going to be on the edge of your seat.
I hope so. I hope it's a big score. I hope it's a lot of big plays.
Yeah.
I hope Julio Jones is healthy because I want it to be a full, complement of players.
Yeah, no excuses.
Exactly. And you don't want a big injury in a championship game that ruins the game.
Right. I can agree with that. All right, next we have the Steelers traveling to Foxborough against the Patriots.
Yep. My pick to win the Super Bowl this year, I said it earlier in the year when they were down a little bit, and I'm sticking with it. Pittsburgh is winning this football game.
Wow.
Pittsburgh, Green Bay. I'm picking the road teams to win these two football games. I like the Steelers on Sunday.
This one's really hard for me because I want the Steelers to win this game. But I'm taking New England until I see it with my own eyes.
I got you. I understand exactly what you mean. It's kind of like the opposite of Cleveland. I'm picking against them until they lose, but you're picking for New England until they lose. Or until they win.
Really
Cleveland, I mean.
To see Pittsburgh win this game. It's just after as poorly as New England looked last week, I figure they're going to come out and turn it around. I hope I'm completely wrong.
See, I think Pittsburgh has the recipe to beat New England because Le'Veon Bell cannot be stopped. I think he proves that time and time again. They have the big play offense with Antonio Brown and the other receivers and stuff, Jesse James and all those guys, the tight end.
Yeah.
And I just think Pittsburgh is going to best them. I think New England, the door was open for them to lose to Houston, and Houston threw it away. But I don't think Pittsburgh makes mistakes like Houston,
Yeah, it's basically going to be who hurts themselves because Ben can throw a really bad interception from time to time.
Absolutely, he can, yeah. But then again, he could throw a perfect slant pattern to Antonio Brown for a 70-yard touchdown. So
I think, and this is my personal opinion, that Brown, even though I'm picking the Patriots, that Brown feels like he's on a mission to kind of prove people that he's a big-time postseason guy.
Yeah, because, coming into this year, he never had a postseason touchdown.
Yeah.
And they didn't do much. That's another thing with me. Pittsburgh tends to come out like wildfire when they don't do much the week before. And they didn't do nothing against Kansas City. They kicked field goals.
Look what they did to Kansas City the week after the Eagles beat them. They stomped them into the ground.
Yeah, and even though they did not win the football game, even though they did win the football game on Sunday night, I still think shit. Yeah, I still think that they have points left on the table coming into this week, and Pittsburgh usually puts those points on the board in the next game.
Two things. Lance says he's siding with me, Green Bay, New England in the Super Bowl, and he said, do the Steelers spend big on Bell in the offseason, or does he hit free agency?
Le'Veon Bell will not hit free agency because if they don't sign him, they'll just put the franchise tag on him.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he'll take the tag.
And I'm telling you, I know Ezekiel Elliott is a really good football player and a really good running back. I think Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in football.
I see. I'm on the fence with him and David Johnson.
The
I like
reason I
David
say
Johnson
is
too.
because he's up there too. Because Bell,
I can tell you. I can tell you why you're going to say you don't think Elliott's the best, and it's the five guys in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has an offensive line that. I mean, the Steelers' offensive line is good. The Cowboys' offensive line is great, and there's a gap in between that good and that great.
Lance says, do you think if he gets franchised, does he sign it or does he hold out?
Oh, absolutely, he signs it. There's no way you turn down probably $20 million a year, whatever the tag's going to come with. I think it's actually going to be like 13.
I'm a big Bell fan because, like David Johnson, he can do it both ways, running and catching.
Oh, he's phenomenal, man. He's just watching him is more entertaining too than watching any other running back in the NFL because his first step doesn't have to be straight to the hole. He is so good at waiting, and then hitting the hole. If he played for Dallas, he would be 20 yards downfield before he had to make a move. When he plays for Pittsburgh, he's 4 or 5 yards in the backfield when he makes his first move, and that's the big difference between the two running backs.
Yard rusher with Dallas.
If he had Dallas's offensive line, I think he could possibly break the rushing record with that line. Yeah. And I think there's a chance Ezekiel Elliott could possibly do it in the future. I'm not saying that, we're comparing two guys that have about 5 years experience between them too. Mm-hmm. Le'Veon Bell's been in the league a lot longer than Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, though, his rookie season, and there's no doubting that he's probably the best rookie running back in NFL history.
Without a doubt.
I was just making sure. I didn't know if you were agreeing or.
No. I can totally agree with you with that. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
I was going to say, it's just be interesting to see how things go forward for both of them, career-wise.
Yeah, I think you what we have probably is for the next at least 6 to 7 years, probably the two of the top 4 best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that.
Yeah, well, what would be great too is maybe if he hits the market, the Eagles should just throw Le'Veon Bell a huge contract, and we can have those guys playing each other a couple times a year.
That would be fun to watch.
Yeah, it won't happen, but yeah.
Dean would have a heart attack.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up, all that stuff, and we'll see you back next week. Have a good evening, everybody.